Hello everybody, this is me Mika Varela, and to another video in the Mika channel. We're bringing Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Here's the, double DVD. Yeah, here's Order of the Phoenix and here's Half-Blood Prince. Let's see if there's anything interesting on the inside, and oh my god, there's something interesting here. There's something inside this thing. It's called the Making of Harry Potter Book A Day at a Time Now. Look at this. Want to see inside? Let's see inside. I don't know if it's good from your end, but here's my end. Just pause the video if you want to see everything. Right there. And right there. So that's everything you need to know about this awesome thing in the DVD. Some ad for the Making of Harry Potter. Anyways, here's the book. Yeah. By the way, if you notice, this is a very different print than the one I got for Sorcerer's Stone. You've noticed that print was very different. That was the original print back in the olden times. This one's a brand new print. This is 2015. This is the UK print for Half-Blood Prince. And yeah, I got the big box set, which, you know what, I'll show it now. Just want to show it now. Ta-da! Here's the box set, Harry Potter box set, and there's a little ad, there's a little paper here just for the box of books, and I'll only show you one book in this box set. Sorry guys, but it'll take a long time for me to do this. Here's Order of the Phoenix, and this is the shot part where Harry conjures Patronus in front of the two Dementors and the little whinging. Oh, correction, Privet Drive. Why is he a little whinging? That's Tom Riddle's dad's house. Anyways, here's the review for the movie of Half-Blood Prince. Now, after 2 minutes of rambling, let's get started with the positives for this movie. And let's start with the acting in this movie. This is a very good acting movie. A lot of the acting is really good, especially in Dumbledore's actor, Michael Gambon. That's probably the best actor in this movie. And the other actors are pretty good too, but I think Dumbledore's actor is probably the best out of all of them. And there's a lot of really cool stuff in this movie. This is actually the one where we finally see Dumbledore dies. That's the big death of the movie. Last two times was Sirius and Cedric. This time is Dumbledore finally dying at the end of the movie. And this movie has a lot of action in this movie. Yeah, the action in this movie is really awesome. There's some parts like the opening scene where the bridge collapsed. That's awesome scene. And the part where Ollivander gets kidnapped by the Death Eaters. That's awesome too. And the final battle is pretty good too, even though I wish they could have included the fight from the book. But hey, it's a pretty good battle, right? And what else to include for Half-Blood Prince? We also have the battle of the Amphitrite there in the cave. That's awesome too. Hunting for the Salazar Slytherin's lockets. Yeah. And also the mystery about what's up with Draco and what's up with the Snape is also pretty good too. Yeah. And who is the Half-Blood Prince? Sadly, that mystery is terrible in this movie. I'll tell you why later on. But yeah. Anyways, that's pretty much have the positives of this movie, and let's get into the negatives. And let's start off with Harry and Ginny's relationship, which is terrible. Most of the scenes are just kind of awkward in this movie. There's nothing really that great. It's all just awkwardness. And the relationship between the two is much better in the book. If you're just a movie guy, read the book. It's much better in the book. Or if you don't want to read, just get the audiobook or something. Or go on Kindle. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, Harry and Ginny relationship, pretty bad. Especially the shoelace scene. You can't forget the shoelace scene. There's also some scenes that are very unnecessary in this movie, like the battle there at the Weasley's house, which I know was just there to add more action, but what's the purpose of the scene when it's just not going to be mentioned the rest of the movie? It's just there to get the Weasley's house destroyed, and in the next movie it's back to normal, so what's the purpose of that scene anyways? Also, this film has very bad reasoning. It took a bunch of characters Specifically, a bunch of people are dying in the first few chapters of the book, like Amelia Bones or Igor Karkaroff are just dying out of random, and that part is really good to add like more darkness into the book. But the movie, yeah, it fails to add the darkness because the rest of the movie is just a bunch of lame jokes. And let's not talk about the worst mystery of the movie is who is the Half-Blood Prince, and yes, it's Snape, but I'll tell you why it's the bad part of the book of the movie is because they don't really give us why he's the Half-Blood Prince. It's all just like the Half-Blood Prince, and there's nothing really too much for that. It's just him saying he's Half-Blood Prince. Well, in the book, the only reason why he's Half-Blood Prince because he is half-blood, and also and the prince come from his mother's name, Eileen Prince. Yeah. So the movie got the whole thing wrong, and there's a bunch of unnecessary stuff besides the whole Weasley Burrow attack scene. Bellatrix being in scenes that she shouldn't be. No offense, but I don't think really she needs to be in the few parts of the movie because she doesn't really do anything besides have its House of Fire and cast Dark Mark, which were actually done by other Death Eaters. So maybe you should keep Bellatrix on the side and have other Death Eaters do the whole thing. And also we got the Voldemort flashbacks, which are just okay. The first one's pretty good. The second one's pretty good too. But there's one problem with the flashback is the part where Voldemort's like, I can make bad things happen. I can make things. Okay, let me repeat that. Let that again. I can make bad things happen to people who are mean to me. That line is okay if in the book it was different. In the book it was I can make bad things happen to people who annoy me. In the movie it's mean. So this whole line changes Voldemort's character, which I do not like. It makes him more emotionally bad. But in the book he's just straight out bad, which is way worse than this movie. Trying to make him sympathetic, but I don't feel sympathy for this guy at all. And there's some other bad stuff in the movie, like the whole Half-Blood Prince thing. The movie's called Half-Blood Prince, and you only mention like a couple of times throughout the movie. There's like a bit of an hour where we find out, okay, Snape's the Half-Blood Prince. Okay, that's why this movie's called Half-Blood Prince, because Snape's the Half-Blood Prince. But yeah, they just made the title feel like, why is this even called Half-Blood Prince when the Half-Blood Prince doesn't even get mentioned throughout the whole movie? Yeah. Anyways, let's get to other bad parts of the movie. We have the Lavender and Ron relationship. One of the things that everyone hates about the series, the Ron and Lavender relationship. And I don't think this relationship is the worst relationship ever. I mean, Snape's parents have obviously the worst relationship. And coming up, we have Bellatrix and Voldemort and the Cursed Child, which I don't like. But yeah, Ron and Lavender's relationship in the movie is just way too much. In the book, and it's not way too much. It's there, but at least it's just there to complement the story, not to dominate the story. But in the movie, it's dominating the story, and the complement part of the story is just the flashbacks and the Half-Blood Prince mystery, which is also, why'd you cut out Bill and Fleur from the movie? Because because in the book that's the part where they get into a relationship. In the movie, Deathly Hallows Part 1, we're like, wait a minute, these two were in a relationship together off screen. And also Bill got attacked by Greyback off screen in the movie too. And also, why didn't you include in the movie too the final battle of the Strongly Tower where Bill gets mauled by Greyback? I mean, I know it's too graphic, I guess, to show on camera, but you gotta at least try to make sure, like, wait, how did he get that scar in his face in Deathly Hallows Part 1? Because we have zero idea what happened to him. It'll happen off screen. And no, that not mention of, that one mention of Greyback does not fix this whole thing entirely in the first Deathly Hallows Part 1. Yeah, whatever. And also, Harry hitting on this Muggle girl in the opening of this movie is just pretty bad. I mean, he's basically like having a crush on this girl while having a crush on his future wife. Yeah. So technically, yeah, for Harry. So that's basically Half-Blood Prince in a nutshell. Probably the worst Harry Potter movie ever. This is not a bad movie. Okay, I'm gonna mention a few negatives. I forgot to mention one positive is the character of Slughorn. He's a pretty good character. He's a nice character to make up, develop Voldemort's backstory, and I do like to see Aragog's death, but overall this movie is just eh. And it has a lot of good things for it, but it has a lot of bad things for it. I mean, Goblet of Fire has a lot of negatives. I did a whole rant video on that movie, but at least it's entertaining. But this one is just nothing too much to say. I mean, in the book, it's really good. This book is really good. I mean, I can fight it. I can fight with this book like in one day. Last time I read this book, I read this in one day. That's how good it was. For the movie, it's good if you. It's good, I guess. But overall, Half-Blood Prince is definitely in the bottom of my Harry Potter ranking. Probably a C tier or a low B tier. The reason why it's a high C tier and low B tier is because I find it entertaining. And I mean, it's Harry Potter. You can't really have too much of a bad Harry Potter movie. People random crimes of Grindelwald, a lot of you want, but yeah, this for me is the worst Harry Potter movie. Period. Worse than the book. Definitely the worst thing out of the Harry Potter franchise. Coming up is the Cursed Child. Okay, Cursed Child is way worse, but you know what I mean, right? Out of 10, I give Half-Blood Prince probably 6.5 out of 10 to a 7 out of 10. It's good, I guess, but still has a lot of bad parts. I mean, this book does a few parts of the book dirty, and it's entertaining, I guess. And the much of flow of relationships in this movie is just bleh. Yeah. Why not make it the whole movie a Voldemort backstory movie? I mean, look what happened with Thanos in Infinity War. The whole movie is like telling about more of Thanos than the rest of the Avengers. In the movie of the Half-Blood Prince, most of it is just relationships. I mean, why do you make the Lavender and Ron relationship so big in the movie yet they just break up? I mean, that happens in the book too, but that was just a minor thing. That wasn't a humongous thing what happened in the movie, right? Anyways, thank you for watching this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Make sure you like this video, yeah. And also, bye-bye guys, and tune into the next video where we talk about the Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Part 2. And right after that, we're going to review the books. Okay, not that review the books in individual order. We're going to review all the books in one video. And we're going to do a Harry Potter ranking video on the Harry Potter movies and the books. Okay, with Fantastic Beasts as well. And the Cursed Child. And also my favorite Harry Potter characters. So, bye guys. Look out for those videos on the way.